Happy Wednesday, bitches. I am Heather Ryan of Bitches Get Stuff Done, coming to you from Des Moines, Iowa.
And I am Blythe Potter in Bargersville, Indiana.
We've got a very full episode again. It feels like I say that every time. It feels like we're in like an alternative universe where every day is a big news day.
It is. And particularly if you're talking about legal stuff like the deportations to South Sudan, which first of all, terrifying. None of those people were from there. And second of all, okay, the court says it's like violating a court order, but when do we do something about it?
Right? So, okay, also correct me. Let's back up for a second. Correct me if I'm wrong. Isn't South Sudan in like a civil war or something?
Major conflict zone.
And
yes.
So it's not only an awful place to go, but it's an extremely dangerous place to go. And we're deporting people there that aren't supposed to be there.
Who aren't from there, who don't speak the language. I mean, are they going to force them to be in their military? I don't know how this works. And I was thinking about that today. Like, I can't even imagine being on that plane. I just cannot. I can't.
God, how terrifying would that be? You don't know where you're going, and then you end up in a war zone? Yep. What in the hell? And who are we paying to take them into South Sudan?
That is an excellent question, because we paid El Salvador to take immigrants. Who are we paying?
I'm going to guess the South Sudanese government, the ones that are in the civil war.
I mean, but which side do we pay? Which side are we on?
I'm going to guess whichever side is the bad side, that's the side we're on.
That's kind of what my thought is too.
And so in a way, we're contributing to their war effort, right? Because we're
absolutely. Them. I mean, because they will likely take these people and either put them in labor camps or put them in war. I don't see what else. I don't see what other. I don't know. And I would be very curious.
Like you said, when are we going to actually see action about this? What is the action? Since the Supreme Court said that he's above the law, what is the action?
I don't know. I truly don't know. I mean, he's not above I don't know. I don't understand how they think any of this is going to work. That the Supreme Court would really need to overturn that ruling.
Which is not going to happen.
It's not going to happen. I don't know. Do we get the marshals involved? Congress won't do anything. The Senate's not going to do anything.
Let's just say that they're held in contempt of court. First of all, who is held in contempt of court? His attorneys, his representatives in the Department of Homeland Security. And even if they are held in contempt of court and they go and spend some time in the pokey, he will just pardon them.
Yeah.
So I don't know how this ends.
I don't know. It's not going to end well. It's just not going to end well.
And we're just talking about some people right now. We're not even talking about the long game. We're talking about the immediate game.
Yeah. We're not even 6 months into it.
Yeah. I received an email today from someone who is considering becoming a chapter lead down in Texas. And every Tuesday I send out an invite. Hey guys, are you still thinking about becoming a chapter lead? And on Wednesday I send out a reminder. Hey guys, remember on Wednesdays we have our new chapter lead informational meeting. And so she's been getting these for a while, because you get one every single week until you can join one of our meetings. And she emailed me back and said, actually, I've really been giving this a lot of thought. I can't lose my job and go to jail. And I'm afraid that that's what they're going to do to us.
Yeah.
And I can't fault her, because it's an authentic concern. So
absolutely.
Yeah. Right.
I mean, and we are on that list, right? Mm-hmm. They're coming for the immigrants first, and they'll likely go for, they've gone after special needs. They will go for people of color, LGBTQ plus, and then women, Democratic women first.
Sure. And not necessarily in this order. I do think that big troublemakers are going to be at the top of the list too.
Yeah.
Like, we don't have to wait to get down to the white cis women troublemakers. We could be anywhere in this whole mix.
I'm also curious, what has happened? I have not followed up on the congressperson. Wasn't there someone in Congress who was arrested?
Indicted. I don't think she's been arrested.
Oh, okay.
And I don't know how that ends either. It doesn't make any damn sense. She was literally doing her job with congressional oversight to go into the facility and check it out and actually, inspect it. She was literally doing her job. So them arresting her and saying that I think she's like old, but I think she's also of color. So an old of color lady, they're saying that she was pushing around police officers. Does that sound familiar? Oh yeah, that's right. That's what they tried to say that I did. It's 100%.
Well, yeah. Just because they say that doesn't mean she did it.
Right, of course.
She is a woman of color. She's a Black woman. I mean, if she's old, she does not look old.
Okay.
I would guess she's probably my age.
Okay, well that's not old. But either way, the idea that she was pushing around officers and causing a ruckus is asinine. They did
multiple attempts to forcibly assault, resist, oppose, impede, intimidate, and interfere with the agents attempting to take the mayor into custody.
Right. So it's basically the same thing that they tried to get me on at the state capitol.
Yeah.
So it's just starting to happen more on a broad national scale now.
Yeah.
Now, if they're anything like what they're treating me like, they'd actually take it to trial. If they're taking ours to trial, I'm going to guess that they're going to take hers to trial, but I don't know for sure. It's hard to tell.
I really hope this goes in your favor when yours goes to trial. I mean, I just don't see how they have anything with all the footage. It's going to be amazing.
So much footage. Oh my God, there's so much evidence. I still haven't received the other 3 cops footage from my attorney yet, but I'm eager to see it.
Oh yes, I bet you are. That'll be amazing. So we've also got prayer services at the Pentagon
from Pete Kegg's Breath.
Oh my God! And also, Kristi Noem is polygraphing people.
What?
Yes.
What? I can't hear. What?
They have taken a room. Something to do with the TSA, and she's like taking her employees with the Department of Homeland Security and giving them polygraphs to find out who's leaking information, not even sensitive information or classified information, just anything about the department. She's losing her mind.
When did that start? What information?
I heard this yesterday. Where did I hear this at? It might have been Politics Girl. I can't remember now.
Wow. I was so befuddled by her not knowing what was it? Oh gosh. What's
the writ of habeas corpus?
Yes. Habeas corpus. She did not know the meaning, which fine. She's not an attorney. Fine. But she has a very powerful job. You'd think she'd Google it.
I really think it was the Politics Girl who mentioned this. They were hypothesizing that she knows exactly what it is. They're just doing the thing where they lie. Like they just lie about it.
I don't know, man. Did you watch the footage of her?
I watched some of it. Her face. It's really hard to watch her face because like she looks so confused.
So confused and so much filler. Just so much filler. At some point she's got to stop making those lips bigger. At some point it's just needs an intervention of filler.
Yeah, so she was taking them into an obscure office within the Transportation Security Administration, which is typically concerned with screening passengers and baggage at airports.
Wow.
Can you imagine?
No, I cannot. God,
I just hope if whoever is like sharing this information and working under these conditions, please keep doing it. I mean, I know it's going to be a long 4 years, but please keep doing it.
What a hostile work environment she's creating.
Can you imagine?
Oh my God, I'd be so upset to go to work every day.
The amount of anxiety. I mean, this is going to be a class action lawsuit. I mean, all of them. I mean, when are we going to have our like version of the trials for Nazis?
Yeah, that's true.
They are terrorists. They are terrorizing not only their employees, but the entire country, actually the entire world.
Absolutely, the entire world. That leads us to our next topic of the South African president going to the White House today.
Yep.
And so he is the second president to go to the White House and be humiliated, or at least they tried to humiliate him. For the most part, from what I saw, he tried to like at least kind of brush it off and not get too flustered, kind of like Zelensky did. But he was 100% ambushed.
Yeah.
They actually had white oppressors from South Africa there speaking as well. And Trump was like saying, "You're murdering these white settlers and white farm." No, in the Sudanese, I'm sorry, the South African president. It's like, no, that's not true. Oh, yes, it is. Just like telling him these conspiracy theories that just are not true. And he's standing up at the same time for people who oppressed the people of South Africa for generations. So it's so embarrassing.
Oh my God. And Elon Musk is one of those people.
Yes, this is 100% why we brought 70 settlers over to the United States and let them have advanced immigration status. And now we have one of them in Des Moines. Yay!
Whoa, that's so exciting.
Well, it tracks, right?
It totally tracks.
You've got Kim Reynolds as our governor, and she's always trying to suck up. So it totally.
I'll take some of them.
Yeah, come on, get someone here.
And I saw that you announced that you are working on your book.
I am. Actually, that's what I was doing before I logged on to talk to you.
That's so exciting because the other day when you were like, you just need to start writing this stuff down, and I saw your video about that, I was like, oh my God. How to be a calm bitch. Because I've always wanted to do something with self-care, but then I was like, oh my God, like surviving fascism and self-care, like we could totally do this.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, I'm working on 2 books simultaneously.
Oh my God.
In addition to the song that we talked about that I have to make.
What's the other one?
I haven't written up anything down about the song. I've just been working it in my head for now. But the other book is a children's book from my kids' perspective.
Oh, yes. You told me about that.
Yes. My mom is a bitch.
That's so cool. I'm so excited.
I'm trying to squish all their different experiences into one kid, but I don't know how well that's going to work out. So I'm just taking notes right now on what they remember and how these things affected them as being a kid of a political activist.
That's so cool.
Yeah, and it'll be a companion set where I'm telling you how to be an activist and they're telling you how the kids feel about it.
I love it. Aw, that's so sweet. I love it. What else have we got?
Well, I can tell you what really triggered me was the forced reset triggers that are now legal in the United States. So, I did not know that this was a thing. So I'm just going to go ahead and back up and tell people what it is. It's this thing that you can apparently put on your semi-automatic weapon, and it will make it so that you no longer have to pull the trigger every single time you want to fire. So it'll just automatically reset the trigger. So you just push it down and keep it down, and it turns it into basically a machine gun. So
that's what they used. Was it in Colorado or Vegas? There was one. Vegas. Okay, I knew there was one recently, and I couldn't remember where it was.
Yeah,
we have so many mass shootings. It's hard to keep track of them.
I know, they blend in together. Technically, he had what's called a bump stock.
Oh, okay.
And those, Congress tried to outlaw those right after it happened. But of course, that did not happen. Went nowhere. So bump stocks are still legal. And now apparently forced reset triggers are now legal. So you can do many different ways to create an automatic weapon to mow down people. And that's 100% the only thing that they're for. Let's be clear. Yeah, they're only just to mow down people. So this will substantially make it more awful to have these mass slaughters of American citizens. And what a great time, right? Right when you've got all of these psychotic militias coming up and all these Proud Boys, and I'm not 100% convinced that these people in masks that are going and ambushing people and arresting them and kidnapping them, I'm not 100% convinced those aren't militia people.
They could be.
Yeah.
None of them have any ID. We can't see their faces. It's atrocious.
Yeah, it's the Gestapo. It really, I hate to use it because it's cliche and overused, but it just is.
There's no other way to describe it.
Right.
So they accepted Qatar's Megajet.
Yep.
Which apparently they've actually been trying to sell since 2012, and they joked that we'll just have to give it away.
And did you see that they reported that they didn't actually offer it to Trump? He actually asked for it.
He asked for it in January.
Yeah. Weird. And it's going to cost $1 billion to retrofit. So even though it's a quote unquote $400 million gift, it'll cost $1 billion with a B dollars to retrofit to make it worthy of flying a president.
So I still don't understand what they plan. Like, are they just eliminating the decoy plane then?
No, they've got two completely new planes that are currently under construction by Boeing. Boeing's got a few eggs on their plate, but they've got a contract. They've had a contract for years. It takes a long time to build these planes, and those planes are being constructed, but it's not fast enough for Trump. He wants something now. Come on, wait. And plus, he wants to be able to keep this. And
Of course he does.
That will allow. It doesn't allow him to keep it, but that's just what he's going to do.
He will absolutely try. I mean, I hope we make it to the day where he gets taken down in some capacity. Just
oh my God,
this throne.
Where is that?
Not dead. I'm not saying dead.
I'm saying stroke. Debilitating stroke. That's what I'm hoping for. Where he is cognizant that he is slobbering and shitting on himself.
Yeah,
that's my hope. I mean, he has the best healthcare American buy.
Justice.
Yes. I mean, and that leads us into this freaking budget bill. Oh God. As bad as you think it is, it's worse.
Yeah,
it's 1,100 pages. So if you ever saw the Project 2025, that was just under 1,000 pages. So this is 1,100. It's bigger than Project 2025. There's no way to read it comprehensively all the way through. And they started debating it this morning at 1 a.m, which always says to me, oh, this is above board. This makes perfect sense. I think we should debate this in the middle of the night when the entire country is asleep, because that makes sense. That says it's definitely good for the country, right?
Of course. Yeah, it's all terrifying, but it sounds like, I mean, the only rusty silver lining, tarnished silver lining of all of this is that the worse it gets, the worse it also gets for Republicans getting reelected, I think. And it almost, I mean, cutting Medicare and Medicaid and SNAP, like, it kind of has to get that bad. I would guess that's the majority of the base that's still following him.
Someone said something the other day about how maggots, though, the maggots that are still on board can't jump ship now because their entire identity and their entire community is based in being a maggot.
Yeah.
And it's not as though they can come over to the new community. What are they going to do? Come over to me and say, I'm sorry, I'm a dumbass. Oh, my bad. No, they can't. And they've been making fun of the snowflake, Democrats for 10 years. So even once they're hurting, I have to wonder, will they see that this is his fault? Because
they might turn on him.
I don't know, man.
I mean, it could be a coup within a coup.
I hope you're right. I mean,
I do, but I don't. Like, I just wish someone would just be like, all right, this is enough. We got to put an end to this. Like, can we just stop and have like some normal? I mean, not that things were really normal before. I don't even know what the word is I'm looking for, but something that's not this, but better.
Yeah, we're literally cutting Meals on Wheels.
Yeah.
The WIC program, so Women, Infants, and Children, that's the formula program. And my kids, I could not produce milk for my life for whatever reason. I don't even know why. My doctor put me on medication and everything, so I could produce milk for my kids, and it just didn't work out. So my kids had to be on formula, and then they were allergic to the formula. So if it hadn't have been for WIC, we called it powdered gold because it was so expensive.
Yeah.
We wouldn't have been able to keep our kids alive if we didn't have WIC. They're cutting all of that. Who cuts Meals on Wheels? Who cuts Medicaid so that your grandma can't be in her hospice care anymore?
Yeah.
If it hadn't have been for Medicaid and my mom being in hospice care, I guess she would have just died here at my house. I don't even know. She was in a coma. So I guess we would have had to bring her back to my house in a coma. I don't know how that works.
I don't either. I hate it because the people are going to, unfortunately, be finding out how that works.
Yeah. Okay. The one silver lining that I'm gonna keep my inner eye focused on is that when it gets this bad, it has to get better. We have to make a different system to make it better. So maybe
we do.
Maybe this is how we get universal health care. I don't know.
Well, and I think you're right. I don't think it needs to be this traumatic and destructive. But we have needed better systems to keep up with the way our society runs now. And It's just not that this toxic capitalism is not functioning. The oligarchy is not functioning. These programs are not functioning the way they should. I mean, Social Security hasn't been funded the way it needs to be funded, I think, since its inception. So,
Yeah.
I mean, that needs to be improved too.
Whenever you make it so that the rich don't have to pay into it, of course it's not going to be properly funded. And that can be said of just about every social safety net that we have.
Yeah.
It's being funded by the working class, and the wealthy are exempted.
Yeah.
That's
well, and it was also being funded by immigrants who we are now getting rid of. So
correct. Yeah, good point. Yeah.
We're taking away a lot more than just our safety nets here.
I think a lot of people don't know that, Blythe, is that
Of course they don't.
immigrants have to pay into Social Security. They just can't collect on it. So think about how unfair that is, first of all.
it's totally unfair.
But then you throw all of these immigrant laborers out that are paying into our society tenfold, way more than they should because they're not getting the benefits.
Yeah.
And then you kick them out. And then that income is no longer here. It's ready for collapse. And I really think that's their hope, the Republicans' hope. They really want to destroy these programs. Makes you desperate, makes you work longer, makes you work harder, makes you work more than one job, makes you make your kids go to work earlier. But I don't think it's going to work.
It's totally going to backfire.
Yeah.
It's not sustainable.
Right.
I mean, especially coming off the back of COVID, like a lot of us liked that when it slowed down, right? It was a terrifying time, but not having to work 24/7 like we felt like we were before. I mean, that was glorious.
Yeah, you're right.
So I think people are ready, and we can, with social media, we see how Europeans take naps in the afternoon and they're off at 5 and they disconnect from work and they don't why can't we do that? We can. They just, they don't want us to.
I like it when you can see that other kids in other countries get to eat lunch, and they're not literally intentionally starving children like we do here in Iowa.
Yeah, and in Indiana, we forgot to renew something to feed kids over the summer.
Yeah, you have to apply for it every year.
Yeah, and then they were like, "Oh, can we go ahead and get a waiver for that?" And they were like, "No."
Well, the Trump administration now will probably tell them, yes, we'll just give you the money instead, just like they did with ours. We submitted a waiver, and Kim Reynolds said, well, I'd like to buy my own food for these fat ass kids. That cool with you? And Trump's like, yeah, that works for us. You buy the food for yourself, for the fat ass kids, and give them a little welfare box to take home every month.
Cool.
So that's 100% what we're doing. That starts in a couple of weeks. Yay. I'll make sure to make some videos about it.
Yeah.
Welfare boxes all around. Good times.
Good times.
Okay, so we talked about the big bullshit budget bill, and we talked about Qatar. We did not talk about Pete Hegsbreth prayer service. We started with it, but we didn't finish.
I need to look more into that. I know they had a lot of people there.
Okay, so yeah, let's back up. Pete Hegsbreth is in charge of the military, and so they just held a prayer meeting, a Christian prayer meeting at the Pentagon. And you're saying that a lot of people attended?
Yeah, I heard a lot of people attended it, but now where did I put that?
That makes sense to me. That makes a lot of sense to me. The ones at the state capitol are also well attended because that's where their bread is buttered. That's where all the power players are.
Oh, it's going to be monthly.
Oh.
Pete, you can't pray once a month and call it good, dude.
It really feels like it needs to at least be weekly, like his AA meetings,
Oh, this is the part I forgot. I'm glad I looked this up. It was his hometown pastor who said that Donald Trump has been sovereignly appointed.
What does that mean?
It sounds like maybe God appointed him.
Wow. I had no idea.
Let me look this up. I heard that and I was like, actually he was, I'm pretty sure, illegally elected. That is my own opinion. Yep. A supreme ruler, especially a monarch.
Oh my God. So they're saying that basically he's like King Orange Turd.
Yeah. I think they were alluding to God appointing him.
Right. Well, like the kings, right? Kings are appointed by God, right?
Supposedly.
Right. Oh, I find the whole thing silly, but that's just me.
Oh, I totally agree. Yeah, it's just
It really feeds into the
so
whole
wrong.
Trump thing or the whole cult thing, doesn't it?
It really does.
So
And
weird.
they're probably like strong arming people into going to it, like they will with the parade. You are going to show up at this thing.
I can see them doing that for sure for the parade. I just think the prayer service is probably well attended because people know that they have to go. You probably don't have to tell them. They just know that you're expected to be there. But the
I would be
parade,
so fired.
oh my God, I could so see people waving their little flags at the parade because they feel like they're not being enthusiastic enough for dear leader.
So gross.
Oh, it doesn't get better, man. And then, of course, Representative Jerry Conley died today. He is the Democratic representative from Virginia.
So does that mean another special election then?
I will have to look at Virginia's rules. Every state has a little bit different rules. If the person dies a certain period of time before the next general election, yes, usually they have to have a special election because you can't just put somebody in appointed for any period, like any extended period of time. But every state's a little bit different. But either way, he was 75 and he had esophageal cancer.
Yeah.
That he told everybody about back in November. So he had just gotten reelected when he told everybody that he has this cancer. He probably knew about it before he got reelected.
Oh, I'm sure he did. Which, of course, they're claiming that Biden knew about his cancer. I mean, it's very likely this popped up in the last year and he probably just had his annual exam.
I don't give a shit when Biden knew about anything. How is that even an issue right now? Who cares? He's not in office. But Connolly was in office, and then they gave him a really, really important chairmanship of oversight. So he was the ranking Democrat on the oversight committee, knowing that the dude was going to die. And
yeah, it doesn't say in this, I'm looking up on CBS. When I heard about that, I actually meant to look that up too and did not.
What, his cancer or when he
No, they would have a special election.
Oh, right.
There may be 3 special elections in the state of Virginia.
Oh, really?
It says maybe. How vacancies are filled. If the vacancy is filled in the Virginia General Assembly, well, is that the state though?
Yeah, that's the state.
Yeah, we'll have to look that up.
Yeah. But the part that pisses me off the most about this whole thing is, the poor guy died from cancer. That's terrible. But the fact that they intentionally passed over AOC, who wanted that seat, because she's young and dynamic and a firecracker, and they didn't want her to have it.
Of course.
And by them, I mean the old guard, the old guys that have been around forever that don't want to give up their power.
Does this mean she could potentially be it now?
Yeah, I mean, she's still on the committee, I believe. So even though she's not the ranking member, but who knows? Who knows? They might find somebody else. Because it's up to leadership to give those seats out for membership, ranking member or not.
Yeah.
So I would not be surprised at all if they found somebody else.
Well, I hope not. I hope they do. I hope they pick her.
This whole wait your turn shit, that it's a way that Democrats do politics. I hate it.
It's a way everybody does politics. And at this point, I think we keep forgetting, like, this is of the people, by the people. Like, we know our communities. I mean, I think my dog, my 12-year-old going blind dog could be a better legislator than any of them.
Probably. If it gets
he's at least kind.
Just put those little buttons in front of him. Yes. No.
No.
50% of the time he's going to be right. It's fine. That's what they're doing now.
I'm just kidding, Elmo. I love you.
And then every so often he'll push treat.
It's so frustrating.
So when are you going to start working on your book?
I started a few weeks ago after we talked about it. I've got some notes written down, and it's one of these things, like, I really wanted originally to do, it's so funny because I wanted to do like a Baby and Me where it's like Violet and I doing it. So something that parents can do with their kids. And then I was like, well, like, do I really want a picture of my young daughter in a book? Like, I'm kind of weird about that. So then when you mentioned that, I was like, oh my God, like I'm preaching self-care as part of the resistance. Like that can be it. And it doesn't have to be this long, intense thing. It could just be like, this works for me. This is what I did when this happened. Or like, here's some ideas. And also here's how to be involved. So,
Right. Yeah. I'm not going into my entire background, like, hey, here's my life story. I was born in a back seat. None of that. I was conceived in a back seat. That's true. But I'm not going into any of that. I'm just going into here's where I started in politics and here's how the political journey took me. And this is a workbook for you to do basically what it is I've learned over all these years.
Yeah.
So it'll be a small book. It won't be like a novella. It'll be, maybe 70 pages, maybe 80 pages. But just something to give you background as to why I really do know what I'm talking about, and a workbook that you can actually work on stuff and get active yourself.
Yeah. I want to have like different poses, like, and things written down. So some people like to read better, but I'll have like a QR code so people can see a video of it, or like listen to it, like just 5 minutes or less. So
I like that. That's a good idea.
I think what I might try to do is put something together, at least in a PDF, and use that as a fundraiser for my campaign.
Good. Yeah, you can. And you can actually do that on Amazon. You know that, right?
I looked briefly. I did know we could do that on Amazon, but I wasn't sure if that's the most like democratic or sustainable route. So I'm going to do some searching, but yes, I did know that.
Yeah, I don't shop on Amazon. 100% true. I don't shop at all ever on Amazon, but I do have a book available on Amazon, and my music is on Amazon.
That's so cool.
Every so often I get a small payment in my account from Amazon because someone was silly enough to, buy my book or my music.
I'm so torn with Amazon. It is very easy. And for a small business, it's gold because we can get what we need pretty quickly. I'm very torn on it. I hate Jeff Bezos, but there are a lot of things that Amazon does that are good and sustainable.
Yeah. Yeah. There's no right answer.
No, there really isn't. So if anyone's listening, yes, I still occasionally use Amazon. My daughter drinks a toddler formula, like a protein type something that she likes. And they're always out of it. So I every now and again, I have to go on Amazon to get it because she loves to have it before bed.
My partner's the worst. Literally I could throw a rock right now and hit Amazon because it's that close to our house. And Brandon is the worst. He's like, well, I can just get it that same day from the warehouse right there. They'll just bring it to our house. He's not wrong, but it's still annoying as shit. He orders Amazon all the time, which just makes me more absolutely resolved to never order from those sons of bitches. I'd much rather go to the store.
I love it. All right. I think that's all I have.
Yeah, that's all I have. I'm going to be in it's Pride in Sioux City on the 7th, and I'm going to be at the No Kings March in Omaha. Going to be going over to Council Bluffs on the 14th. I am trying to jam out this book as fast as humanly possible so that I can have merch for each of those things.
Then you have a lot of work to do in just 2 weeks.
Yep. I did order some stickers though. So Bitches Get Stuff Done stickers will be available here soon. I got 1,000 of them.
Nice. That's so cool.
So we'll have those for merch. So that's why I'm working so diligently. I'm like burning the midnight hour. Like, then after that. So right now I'm up to the Navy.
Nice.
This is how I was active in the Navy, which was not an easy thing to be. An activist while you're in the military.
Well, yeah, the Hatch Act. And yeah,
it was
so
not
many
easy.
things.
So many things. Yeah, you can't be in your military uniform. You can't be as a representative. And I'm pretty sure I was the only liberal in the Navy. So that made it a little more complicated too.
You're probably the only open liberal.
For sure.
Surely you weren't the only one. Oops.
Oh, sure. In my command, for sure, I was the only openly mouthy, bitchy liberal. And that was 100%. I mean, oh my God, it pissed so many of my commanders off, my officers. Oh my God, they hated me.
Good for you. I was way too good in the military. I was very good at following orders.
Oh, hell no. I was that bitch that said, I am not fucking wearing heels, 2-inch heels, in an inspection when there's only 8 women in our command and you motherfuckers are wearing flats. Guess who didn't have to wear heels for inspection? that shit. Okay, Chucklehead, I think, did you have any events coming up for you?
We do. On the 6th in Franklin, we are doing D-Day. And then there's also one in Indianapolis from 12 to 4. The one in Franklin is 11:30 to 1:30, all in Johnson County. The 7th, we're going to do one in Greenwood, right before Greenwood Pride at Main Street in Madison, right outside of Shreve's office. And then the 14th, we will do one along by Kefhart Park along the trail in Bargersville. But that will be in the morning from 9:30 to 11:30, and then we can go downtown afterwards. So if people want to double dip a little bit, one of the cohorts, we have a cohort called the Rural Summit, and we're trying to get counties to kind of combine forces and do things that are affecting the counties from a federal level, but on the county level. So we're working, Summer of Solidarity is what we're calling it. So stay tuned for that.
Okay. Yeah,
I am not organizing it, so thank God.
You got a lot going on, though. It's impressive.
There's a lot going on.
Oh, and we did just start a new chapter in Alabama. It's our first Southern chapter, and we've got some interest from people from Kansas City that I'll be talking to in about 9 minutes. Nice. So we are continuing to expand slowly but surely. We're continuing.
There was someone who commented, I think from in Kentucky, on one of my posts saying that they couldn't find one in Kentucky, and I said, well, you should start one.
Yeah, that's accurate. I've had plenty of interest from people in Kentucky, but I have to find an organizer.
And I feel like she said Lexington. I'll go back to the comments and I'll send that to her.
Yeah. If we could find an organizer, we got people to join. We just need someone to take that leap and say, yes, I'm going to put together this community of amazing bitches, and we're going to affect change.
Yeah.
Okay, Black. That's it.
I will see you tomorrow then on the chapter call.
But I'll see you Sunday for our next recording of Bitches Get Stuff Done, the podcast. Thanks, guys. bitchesgetstuffdone.org or HoosierBitchesGetStuffDone.org to get a hold of us. Thanks. Talk to you soon.
Bitches get stuff done, that's a fact. Unapologetic on the attack.
All right.